Fear makes humans do things unthinkable. Fear, something every human has experienced throughout their lives. Fear is something that can be hidden in our most inner self, but fear can be used to control and manipulate people. Throughout time, fear has persisted in being one of enemies. For example, the Mongols. The Mongols were an astonishing civilization that existed during the 13th century. Able to dominate most of Asia and Europe, their empire extended all the way from their homeland, Mongolia, to the Caspian Sea. They brutally murder and use techniques to fight other tribes. They were experts in bow combat as well as riding their horses. They were able to
vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to your bosom their wives and daughters. Off topic, but in fact,
great civilization that existed a few centuries later were the Aztecs. Located what is presently Mexico City, they rose from primitive farmers to becoming one of the bloodiest civilizations of the early Americans, sacrificing tens of thousands of victims each year and creating a rule for fear.
During the Spanish conquest of Mexico, they record a culture that celebrated extreme.
North Korea's authority is run over not only on torment, but on ease. They are known to operate at least 6 labor camps, home to over 20 million people. The treatment that the prisoners receive ensure that they never do anything out of line. Since the beginning, they are starved to death, forcing them to eat whatever they can find. Prisoners are then brutally killed or tortured by the guards. Tortures
14 to 17 people.
In a prison cell all day in a kneeling position, as well as being subject to the motorcycle and the plane torture. Many didn't survive, and their bodies were piled up and carried to the mountains where they were burned. Germany led a fearful time in which Hitler led them through not only World War II, but the atrocities of the Holocaust. A large wave of fear didn't only affect Germans, but it greatly aimed at Jews. Joseph Goebbels, the leader in propaganda during the Nazi regime, knew that by spreading ideas, he could control how people thought through his propaganda. With the media, he was able to create an army against the Jews. People were also scared of speaking freely and getting arrested by the police, which meant being put into concentration camps where Jews were tortured and then killed. Oftentimes, secret police would spy on people and arrest those who showed disloyalty to the state and government. There were tampered phone calls and intercepted mail, and very little privacy. Overall, 800,000 Germans were in prison for being enemy of the state.